Hello, hello, hello. This is Tracy L. Tate. I am the CEO of TLJ Professional Services, where we are about all things financial. I bring to you almost 40 years experience in bookkeeping and accounting as well as tax preparation. I have a master's in business, a master's in accounting, as well as a master's in public administration. This is day two of my 30-day live challenge. I am pre-recording this simply because I'll be away. I'll have an appointment and won't be available for 5 o'clock to do my live. So I am pre-recording my live. It is today, though, day two. Today is December 8th. So my topic today, of course, everything is about tax tips over these next 30 days because we only have about that much time before it's time to start filing taxes again. Okay. So that's actually my topic today. Um, Not filing your taxes is one of the biggest tax mistakes entrepreneurs make. Okay. And where to file them. Okay. So not only not filing them, but how to file them is some issues that I've seen from new clients that I have. Okay. So I seem to attract those that haven't filed taxes in years or is behind on taxes, which I am highly grateful for. That they entrust me with bringing them current without judgment, without prejudice, without, any emotions behind it, so they feel safe enough to come to me, and I appreciate that. Okay. But I will say that that is one of the biggest tax mistakes that people and or businesses don't do. They don't file their taxes. So what does that do? It causes increase in fees. It causes penalties. It causes confusion. If you're trying to get a loan and you have not filed your taxes, you cannot get a loan. If you're trying to buy a house and you ain't filed your taxes, you can't get a house. Like you can't do nothing without filing your taxes. Okay. So the tax tip is file your taxes and face whatever consequences and adjust accordingly so you don't keep repeating the same mistake over and over. Okay. So I've actually have been promoting, are you afraid of the IRS? Don't be, right? IRS and actually California State, if you in California come after you before the IRS in a heartbeat. Okay. California give you 2 years, count 'em, 2 tax years before they actually come after you. And that may change. It's just that's been the pattern. At year two, it's like clockwork. Oh, they come in and snatching your money from 2 years ago taxes if you ain't filed them. Okay. So don't play with California. But from a federal standpoint, they may not come after you, but you better believe that they're accruing those penalties, they're accruing that interest, and their rates, their penalties and fees and stuff is much higher than state because so is the taxes, right? The tax rate, I should say. Okay. So, number one, and I say this all the time, tax laws change from year to year. Some laws stay in place, but they may change the dollar amount and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they create a new tax law, but they change. The existing laws change. So although you may think you owe, and that's why you're not filing, that year you may not have owed, right? So the clients that, and I actually have proven this, where clients hadn't filed for 3, 4, 5 years, and when I did the taxes or brought them current, they might have owed on 1 year, they got a refund on the other, had a very little bill on the other, but you don't know because of the different um, deductions that happen. So, like with the pandemic, right? If you didn't get that money, then you were able to file it on your taxes. By not filing your taxes, you didn't even get the money, right? So all of it kind of played hand in hand. That the importance of tax filing, okay? Because if you didn't file, you didn't automatically get it. Um, if you filed, but then didn't get the money or didn't file but didn't get the money, the only way you could get the money was to file, right? So it's a catch 22 in essence. But I will tell you that number one, it relieves the stress of not knowing. Okay. You might owe, but at least know what you owe. it may not be as bad as you think. Number one, get on the payment plan. Number two, they're willing to work with you as long as you are willing to work with them, right? And that's all of them, federal and state, right? All of them, even like payroll taxes and stuff like that. If you owe, get on the payment plan. They just want to know that they're going to collect the money, right? And be able to use the money. Now, I do have clients that intentionally don't like paying taxes throughout the year. They don't want the government using their money, which is their prerogative. That's how I'll phrase that, right? But I will tell you that when you do prepay taxes, whether it's through your payroll, whether it's through your quarterly taxes, if you're like an LLC or single member LLC or sole prop, things like that, where you have to pay the taxes directly, then that's allowing the government to fund the government, right? The hospitals, the police department, the fire department, community departments, social welfare, things like that. And don't knock social welfare. I mean, because the thing about it is this, even with a triple master's, I've had to rely on the government. I didn't stay on it, but I needed that stepping stone in life because life happens, right? And I was grateful that I was able to go because I've been paying into it anyway. I'm entitled. That's the way I feel. I'm entitled to take advantage of any, whether it's unemployment, disability, AFDC, WIC, anything. I'm entitled. I've been funding this since I was 16 years old. So yes, I'm entitled. But I can't live off that. Me personally, I never got used to that little money. I just can't. It's just not who I am. So, but don't knock it. Things happen in life where life happens to life, right? So think about it. If you're not going to prepay your taxes or not file your taxes or pay taxes, how are you supposed to help yourself when you need help if you won't even contribute to the system that provides the help? Make it make sense, right? Okay. So that's just my own little spiel, but it's a fact, right? Okay. So back to the topic at hand. When you don't file, it affects a lot of things. That was an example of what can be affected if you don't file your taxes, okay? But the main thing is the anxiety behind not filing the taxes, the anxiety that they're going to snatch your money, the anxiety that you could go to jail because they ain't playing. When they start sending celebrities to jail about not filing their taxes, it straightened the rest of the celebrities up. You hear me? Wesley Snipes, when he got snatched up, I know them celebrities like, oh, they're not playing because it was almost like they were a protected class. Well, you're not, right? But it is how the government goes around. So pay your fair share of taxes. I always say, or my motto is, I don't mind paying taxes. I just want to pay my fair share, and I don't want to pay above and beyond what I need to pay. Like I'm not trying to pay your taxes, they taxes, her taxes. I want to pay my fair share of taxes because when I need assistance, I want to be able to do that. And if we don't contribute to taxes, it won't be around. And that's their fear with Social Security, for example. People are not working anymore, or those that are working, they're not filing taxes, they're not having taxes withheld. All of those things affect retirement, right? Now, with Social Security, for example, my generation is funding the generations before me that have now retired, right? They say Social Security ain't gonna be around because the generation that's supposed to fund my generation, y'all won't work, don't want to work. You hear me? So I never put anybody in the all or one category. It doesn't work that way. But you know what I'm saying? That's the risk, is that people are not working, so and don't want to work. Therefore, where's the funding gonna come from? Each generation funds a prior generation when it comes to Social Security. So it's extremely important to file your taxes because anxiety is real, stress is real, and it can kill you. Okay, it could cause health issues and everything else. And behind what? Because you didn't want to file a tax return, and you don't know if you was gonna get a refund or not because the tax law might have changed, right? With Trump's changes in 2018, he eliminated the exemptions, but he doubled the standard deduction type thing. So that was a game changer for low to middle income earners, right? It gave you an opportunity to pay less in taxes. Okay. High income earners, you didn't benefit. Unless you have a business, you did not benefit. But lower income earners, middle income earners, that was a huge benefit that the standard deduction doubled, where we, particularly California, New York, got hit is that $10,000 limitation on tax deductions because we used to could write off everything that we paid to state. Now it's limited to 10,000. That might just be income taxes or just property taxes. It ain't both, where it normally could be both type thing, right? So just be mindful of the importance of filing. Number one, so you can know your position, right? Do you have a refund? Do you owe money? And if so, own it, right? Be accountable for it. And if you don't want to keep owing, then change your pattern, change your methods, change the what's causing you to owe, right? In some cases, it could be that you did it yourself and you don't know what you're doing. You hear me? So seek a professional like myself, right? Who have the experience and so forth. So don't put yourself in that position. Um, and if by chance, you do owe again or whatever, like I said, own it, be accountable, and get on the payment plan. It's that simple. But you don't know what you owe, if you owe, and then you're putting yourself in health risk, harm's way by not filing, right? So file your taxes. That's one of the biggest tax mistakes. Now, I also had mentioned earlier in this live that sometimes the wrong filings, right? So as an entrepreneur, depending on your business structure, is where you file your return, your business information. It depends on your type of business. People get that confused. So I get new clients, because my clients know better. But new clients will come and say, well, I need my business taxes filed, but I've already filed my personal. Well, if you're a sole prop, if you're a single member LLC, or even if you have a pass-through entity, if you've already filed your tax return and the business return have not been filed, your return is wrong. Because if you're sole prop or single member LLC, it belonged on your tax return. And if you're a multi-member or S corp, you have a K1 that belonged on your personal return. So if you don't know what you're doing, seek professional help. That's important. If you don't know why you keep owing, seek professional help so that you can nip it in the bud, right? If you're afraid of the IRS, don't be. Seek a professional. And then that takes that fear and anxiety away. Okay. Because how would you have fear about something you know? Right? Because you can plan for it. Period. Even if you don't have it, call them and say, I don't have it. Can I get a delay of XYZ? Can I get a postponement? Can I get a dollar payment? Whatever. It's the communication, right? That you're not trying to ditch and dodge them. That's when they'll go into and levy and garnish and all of that stuff when you start ignoring their requests. Okay. So this has been my day 2 of 30-day live challenge. Of course, it's on some tax tips. So the tax tip today is file your taxes. Okay. If you're behind and need support in getting your taxes brought current, I will put my calendar link in the chat on the platforms. You can also follow all of our pages, TLJ Professional Services or About All Things Financial. You can definitely get in touch with me there. But let's get your taxes current. Let's see where you stand. Let's get you on the payment plan as applicable, and then get you that peace of mind. Okay, there is nothing like peace. I protect my peace by all costs. You hear me? So I would like to provide you that peace as well. Get you in that space where I'm at. Like, oh no, you can't mess with my peace. I guard it at all costs. But here is I am dropping it in the chat now. Will it let me? Maybe not. Maybe because I'm pre-recording. It is. I'm gonna have to drop it in the chat once it posts. So, in any case, this has been Tracy L. Tate, CEO of TLJ Professional Services. We are about all things financial, bringing you almost 40 years experience in bookkeeping, accounting, as well as tax preparation, masters in business accounting, as well as public administration. So, this has been, again, my day 2 of 30 live challenge. It's been an honor and a pleasure to give you this tax tip to file your taxes. Okay, it'll be here again within 45 days. You hear me? 45 days. So I will see you on the other side. Be blessed.